Hi, welcome to automationtesting.in. In this video, we will see expected exceptions in JUnit 5. So when you're executing a test method, you are expecting some exception will happen. So how to handle those? So all these things we'll see by taking one example. So let's go to Eclipse. So here I'll create a class expected exceptions test, I can say. So we'll see now by taking one example. So first I'll take one private method, private return, I can say what, sorry, private, it will return int divide. I'm writing one method divide int a comma int b. So inside this I'm just saying return a by b. Okay, so I'm returning this a by b. So now I will test this method at the rate test from the Jupyter API public void. I can take simply expected exceptions test 1, something like this. So here we have assertions from the Jupyter API dot assert throws. Here the assert throws, the first one is class expected type and the second one is executable. Okay, so expected type, I am expecting when I'm executing this one, I'm expecting one arithmetic exceptions will come. Okay, so arithmetic exception dot class, I'm expecting one arithmetic exception and the executable will be, so lambda expression. So I'll call this method divide, I can say 1 0. So normally 1 by 0 means what? So you will get arithmetic exception. It's an infinitive. So you'll get arithmetic exception when you say 1 by 0. You something you divided by 0, you'll get arithmetic exception. Okay. So I'll just print something. Test passed as we handled the exception I'm saying. Okay. So I know I will get arithmetic exception and I'm handling this. So I'm expecting this. So then what happens when you run this test, it will pass. You see that it is printing and it's passed. Okay. So I'll take the same example. I'll make 2 and 1 divided by 1, something like that. I'm just taking an example. So 1 by 1, you will get 1. There is no exception, right? But I'm expecting arithmetic exception. So we'll see what happens now. You see that assertion failed, arithmetic exception to be thrown, but nothing was thrown, right? It is expecting one exception, but it is not throwing. So that is the reason the test failed, right? So that is the advantage when you use arithmetic exception. Okay, even though if you get an exception, don't stop my execution, continue. If you want to do like that, so you can use something like this. Okay, so I'll take another example. I'll take one more private method, just a dummy example, private void, I'll say read file. Okay, I'm reading a file. How I'm reading a file? By taking file input stream. A file input stream. FIS is equals to new file input stream. So here, which file? I'm just saying slash abcd.xls. I'm just giving some dummy file. So FIS dot, I want to read the file, and FIS dot, I want to close the connection. Okay, just dummy example. To see another exception, we have seen only, so it will throw IO exception. So that's fine. Why still it is? Reads a byte of data from this input. This method blocks of no input is yet available. So give me 1 second, we'll see. We'll take one more example. I'll copy paste this. Test 3. So this time, what exception you can expect? File not found exception, right? So I'm reading a file. If the file is not there, okay? If the file is not there, why I'm getting this? So I have taken this one 3. So there is no error. I did not save it. It took some time to remove that error. So now assertions dot assert throws. Here what I'm expecting, file not found exception, right? File not found exception, and I'll need to call this read file here, and I'll remove the parameters and test pass as we handle the exception, that let it be. So this file is not there. This file is not there in my workspace in this location, but I'm trying to read the file. So obviously we'll get file not found exception. So obviously my test case will pass. The reason is I'm handling that exception. You see that? Test passed as we handle the exception. But I know if the file is not there, I'll get file not found exception. So I'm handling that. This is one of the ways to handle that. Okay. So sometimes you can use super type exception. Okay. I'll take one more example. The same thing. Instead of file not found exception, I'll take IO exception. So IO exception is super type of file not found. Okay. So not only this one, you can give its parent also. That will also handles. This is called super type exception. Right. So actually I need to give file not found exception, but I'm giving IO exception. This IO exception is super type of this file not found exception. So obviously now also it will execute fine and it will pass the test case. You see that it passed. So not only these 2 exceptions. So according to your requirement, if you are expecting some exception, even though if you want to continue, then you can use something like this in JUnit 5. Okay. So that's all about expected exceptions in JUnit 5. Thank you.